Fire devastated their shacks in informal settlements in Cape Town at the weekend. 9 people died and thousands were displaced as fire ripped through settlements at Elsies River, Delft, ImizamoYethu, Mfuleni and Vrygrond. The latest fatality was a young man who lost his life in a shack fire in the ImizamoYethu informal settlement in Hout Bay. The fire early yesterday morning destroyed more than 500 shacks and left approximately 1,000 people homeless. It was the 4th fire at ImizamoYethu this year, and in another fire at the weekend, 26 shacks burnt down at KTC in Khayelitsha. Now for the latest, let's cross to our reporter in Hout Bay, Carmel Logenberg. Good afternoon, Carmel.
Yes, Gunter, good afternoon.
Can you please update us on the situation? What kind of numbers are we looking at? Who's lost how much?
Yes. Gunter, from what we do understand that at least 249 families have been affected because of yesterday's fire. And now what we understand, that means that 500 shacks were also affected by the blaze. If you can see behind me currently, we have people that are still rummaging through what's left or the remains of a once densely built up area.
What about the emergency?
Now we have spoken to the city of Cape Town and we...
Carry on, Carmel, I beg your pardon.
Now we have spoken to the city of Cape Town just to try and distinguish what will happen next. And they currently say that they need to safeguard the area because this has been a hotbed for fires over the last 3 weeks.
What has been the emergency services response to date? Has it been under control, or are we looking at a situation of chaos?
Now, emergency services says they're keeping a close call, or at least a close look at the situation. As I earlier said, at least last month already, the same situation played out in the same particular area. So currently we don't have emergency services on the scene at the moment, but we do have City of Cape Town officials trying to help people remove what they can, trying to clear what they can, and from there on they will then decide when they'll be giving the rebuilding kits and when they'll be able to rebuild their homes.
So the emergency services, presumably they left this morning or last night once they had the situation under control? Or
That's correct, yes. Now, at the moment where I'm standing, as you can see behind me, people are still walking through the area. They are still trying to see where there are pockets of smoke. If I look just ahead of me at the moment, we do see that there are still plumes of smoke that is evaporating from some of the soil. But as the situation currently stands, things have calmed down, and we are in a situation now where people are trying to remove what they can. They're trying to clear the land and trying to rebuild over the next few days.
have you managed to speak to anyone at the scene?
We have managed to speak to a few of the community residents. They said that they're planning for a very bleak new year. Many of them have lost everything. One of the concerns, and especially for some of the officials here, is that many of the people that live here are actually from the Eastern Cape. And as you can imagine, many of them have gone home for the festive season. And they are saying that they're not quite sure what's going to happen when they come back.
Have the officials given you any indication about preventing this kind of thing happening again, what they might do? Because as you said, it's happened before.
At the moment, we do understand that about 12:30 this afternoon, there will be a meeting with emergency services and the City of Cape Town. And from then on, they'll plot a way forward as to what to do with this particular area. As I said earlier, they know that they need to have fire breaks because this is an area that is prone for fire. And I would assume then at the meeting later this afternoon, they'll decide what do they do, what is the next way forward.
Carmel, thank you very much for that update. That's Carmel Logenberg, our reporter in Hout Bay.